I didn't think I was going to be happy if I got second. And, like, which was crazy to say because I was freshman. And it felt like to me, if I didn't have the wrestling, if I didn't win, then I wasn't going to be happy. And I just decided, like, I can't have wrestling be the only thing that's going to make me happy here because that's not guaranteed. Right. Yeah, I am going to say my brother, but he hated wrestling practice. Like, hated it. Like, just genuine, only liked competing. He cut weight wrong. He would be cutting out his water weight, like, Monday night. And, like, for, like, a Saturday tournament, he'd be like, all right, after practice, I'll have 1 pound of water.
All right, we're back with another episode. We have with us another guest, Tanner Gerber. He's a 4-time state champ from Wisconsin, and he is a D3 national champ. Welcome, brother.
All-American.
All-American?
All-American, yeah.
Close. Conti champ.
Yeah.
Third place.
That's better.
I appreciate it, though.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having me out here. I'm pumped to get out here and talk to you guys about this stuff.
Yeah, it should be sweet.
So what year are you now?
I am, so this year was my redshirt sophomore year. But I have another year I could take with a medical year, so I could have been, this is my 3rd year of college, but I was telling everyone this year that I was a freshman because I potentially could wrestle 4 more years after this year. But, I mean, we'll see wherever, the wind takes me. I think, I had this year, and I'll for sure take my next 2 years because that'd be 5.
Yep.
But then, I'm not going to leave it out of the question, taking another year. I feel like it'd be pretty hard. You only get to wrestle so long in your life. Given a chance to wrestle 1 more year.
True.
Might have to take it.
So, because you're going to be a chiropractor, right?
Yep, that's the goal.
So, can you, like, if you take that other year, would you be able to still, like, move forward in your process to get into that, or how would that work?
Not really. So, it would, I don't know if any schools have, because the chiropractic is, like, you got to get accepted into a school, like, a whole.
It's its own separate school, isn't it? Because, like, schools don't offer that.
Sure.
Yeah, like, I don't know if there's any schools that have chiropractic and wrestling or anything. So, and then, that's 3 years of school. That's part of the reason, like, I don't know for sure if I take that last year is, like, I got 3 more years of school after I'm done with my undergraduate. And it's like, I'm just in school to wrestle. Like, I guess I already partly am, but obviously the goal, in the end is to get a real job. But
sure. Do any schools have like a chiropractic program and also wrestling?
I don't think so. I think it's all like you have like a pre-chiropractic track where they'll prep you to get accepted into a chiropractic school.
Sure.
So,
So you're doing your pre-chiropractor right now?
Yeah, well, I'm exercise sports science and pre-professional. So, like athletic trainers, chiropractors, things like that. But I don't know. I was originally just biology. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but being around like sports and stuff, like some exercise sports science classes, like we have like a athletes injury prevention class and like weightlifting classes. Not like ones you do, but ones where you like learn to schedule strength programs and create them. And I just like way more interested in that, obviously being in sports. So
yeah,
that's what I've been ripping.
Yeah,
that's pretty sweet.
So is school like hard? Would you say for you or
it's harder than it was here at NDSU.
Yeah.
I'll say that, dude.
we gotta walk and park here.
I was ripping the 4.0s at NDSU for a little bit there.
Yeah.
And then, this first semester at lacrosse, I felt like a freshman again. Like I didn't know how to use like the program and stuff, and I was like lost. And then I ended up getting hurt, and I couldn't make it to class one time. And my professor told me I needed to get a note from the doctor. I'm like, dude, send him a picture. I'm like in crutches. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do. I'm not leaving my house to go to the doctors to get a note for class right now.
Yeah.
They literally
They made you get a note for that, huh?
Dude, yeah. There was like 1 week too, I was like really sick. And I missed class on Tuesday. I like emailed them like, oh, I'm sick, like I'm not gonna make it. And then Thursday, they're like, oh, okay, I just need a note. So then Thursday I went to the doctors because like, all right, I guess I have to get a note, but like, I guess I'm pretty sick. So I went to the doctors, got the note, brought it back to him like whenever we had class again. He's like, okay, this will get you excused for Thursday. I'm like, well, it was the same exact thing on Tuesday. Like my sickness didn't change. And he's like, no. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's wild.
Dude, yeah, he was. But that could have just been that class though too. It was like a gen ed too. It was like a gen ed English class.
That's even worse.
Yeah. What What the hell?
But, I mean, usually I was just doing pretty good in school. Like, things came easy to me. Like, I didn't have to study as much as some other people.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just had to lock in a little bit more at
Right.
lacrosse than I realized. But the second semester, the GPA was a lot better, so.
Sure. Yeah. All right. You should give me a breakdown of kind of your background, like wherever you want to start, maybe up till high school. We can talk about first, just being from Cameron, stuff like that.
Yeah, so Cameron, small town, Wisconsin, kind of not near anything. We got Eau-Claire is the biggest town from us, about an hour away.
So Cameron is like in the middle, kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit north, central Wisconsin, north a little bit.
Okay.
Like I would say, a lot of people say like Eau-Claire is like close to central Wisconsin,
Sure.
and then I'm just an hour north of that.
So does he live close to Waz or?
Where was Wasley from again?
Where's he
St. Croix
f-
Central.
I don't know what his town
St.
is.
Croix
I
Central.
forget.
So he's like on the west side of Wisconsin. He's closer to Minnesota.
That's right.
I thought he was like
'Cause-
right next to Eau-Claire.
Yeah, like an hour. I thought.
Yeah.
I don't think he
Or
can be
40
that
minutes.
close.
I think 40 minutes. I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I thought, I mean, he drove to Minneapolis to train. Like,
So
and
he
he
was
wasn't
close
that.
then.
No.
He's like-
But Eau-Claire, when we went to that tournament, it wasn't too far away from
His
Minnesota,
house.
I felt
Maybe,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I'm not really too.
It was
fond
a
of
few
my
hours in there.
Wisconsin
Was
Geography.
it?
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cameron's a small town. No, I had a good, time there and good childhood and stuff. Like I said, not a ton going on or anything. Man, made some hometown friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, for like wrestling and stuff, we had to go. It was an hour drive to Eau-Claire for practice, and then on Tuesdays it was hour 40 drive to Loyal, Wisconsin, for practice. And
Wow.
I mean, my dad, I give him a lot of credit too. I mean, I guess both my parents, in general, just taking me like. I mean, I know one time we ripped it to Appleton, which was 3 hours. We ripped it there and back in like a day for like 2 practices. But I mean, it just kind of felt like what I had to do. I mean, I didn't really think about it too much because it was like, oh yeah, there's no one really to wrestle around here. I mean,
Right.
maybe when I was like little, I could wrestle with, whoever because it wasn't that good. I guess I
Yeah.
wasn't that good for a while. But being able to like drive after I drove to places like Eau-Claire and got, to the Crafts Weighing Club and like wrestled there. I mean, it was. Then my performance like skyrocketed, so
Sure.
a lot
Yeah.
better. I was
Yeah.
solid in middle school, nothing crazy. I mean, I would
Yeah.
go to some like little national tournaments, and like do okay. I remember probably like 7th grade, first time I like placed at one, maybe 6th grade. That was like big deal for me. Just like the little tour of the Midwest or whatever.
Yep.
They used to do.
You ever wrestle at the Dells?
The Dominating the Dells?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that a couple years. I think
Yeah.
7th and 8th grade years where I placed, but I
So,
never was like gonna win.
Did you place
right?
at states in like 7th and 8th or?
So we can only do
Yeah,
high
they're,
school.
they're like PA.
No,
Yeah.
but like junior high. Did you?
Yeah, but
yeah.
so yeah, I think 7th grade was the first year I placed, and like every year before that I'd gone like 1 and 2 or 2 and 2 or something like, and then 7th grade I like my first match I remember I had like the guy that had won it the previous year, and I ended up winning it, like beating him that first match, and then my route to the finals was a lot easier after that, and like that was like the biggest thing for me. Like it was the first time I I don't know, done something that I like looked up to. Like obviously, like growing up, my brother, he's 7 years older than me. He's like probably like my biggest role model. But I mean, it's pretty easy when you have an older brother that's doing stuff you like. So I would watch him at like our high school state, and he was 2-time state champ, and like I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So like that 7th grade year, the first time I placed at state, like I was like super pumped up about that. Like that was like a really big thing. And then
That's sweet.
like 8th grade year, I was a lot better than I was the year before. Like I thought like maybe I could win it. I didn't end up winning it, but yeah, I placed both those years. But
Yeah.
So then you started going to the club in 8th grade, or when was
or
that?
I probably started going there. I mean, maybe in like 4th grade, but I mean, like I said, I was like solid for the area, but I'd say it really picked up in like when I was younger, I probably got forced to go to practice a couple more times than I wanted to, and especially with my brother, it's like, well, my brother Cal, he's going down. It's like, well, Tanner, you should come with too. And then I'd say like 6th, maybe 7th grade, I started getting like a really good group around my weight with like Gavin Drexler. he was going down there. Another kid, Blaine Brenner from Minnesota, going down there. Braden Sontag, he's a 4-time state champ for Wisconsin. All of us kind of just, texting each other and making sure we had a partner in practice. And that's probably when I had like the biggest noticeable change. Like I was going there for a while, but like that being able to like honestly even just like having a phone, like I didn't get my first phone until I was in like 7th grade or maybe 6th grade. And just being able to text those guys like, hey, are you going to be at practice tonight? Like, it made a big difference in my, like, career.
Game changer.
It's crazy how much a club, like, when you're around, like, good kids like that, like Drex and all those other guys, like you said, state champs, how much it elevates you. And then you usually have a good coach there. So it's crazy how much, like, a club can change your game to, like, the next level.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our Jordy Crass, our club coach, he's, like, character himself. Like, he's, like, tough, but he's never going to yell at a kid that he doesn't want to see do good. Like, he's not yelling at the kids that he doesn't care how they do. He's yelling at these kids like his son probably gets it the worst sometimes. But it's like, that's probably who he cares the most about in the room, like, by far. Right. And so, I don't know. Some people, he's a little rough around the edges, I would say. But, I mean, like, made me a lot better wrestler. So, I mean, I appreciate it.
Give me some good Jory stories. I've heard some solid ones before.
One, I remember, I mean, this is like when I'm in like 7th grade maybe, and we're just drilling, and we're just not going hard enough, and then he like stops us and tells us to go harder for drilling, and so we're drilling a little bit harder, like felt like we were going harder than we usually do in practice, and then he just jokes us, all right, and he just like start jogging, and we always jog before we hit live. We just jog a little bit to get our heart rate up a little bit more. And this is like, there's like an hour and a half left of practice. He's like, all right, we're going live, and just hour of practice left, and we ripped an hour of live. And I just was like, for me at the time, like an hour of live, like, was crazy.
Yeah,
like,
it's a long time.
I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
And like, he just was like so pissed off that we weren't going hard enough that he's like, all right, if you don't want to like go hard, I'm going to make like the dude in front of you go even harder. I'd say another good story. We were at some duels in South Dakota, and I can't remember exactly what happened, but I mean, Jordy was maybe saying some questionable things to the refs, like just complaining about they were doing some bad things to refs, like making some actual bad calls, but some of them I think like you gotta let slide every once in a while. Like if they're not gonna change it, don't complain about it too much.
Right.
Anyway, so it's like a 3-day tournament, and we did pool like brackets beforehand. It was a dual tournament, and we did pool play before, and then as soon as the actual bracket started, we're wrestling. It was at Legends of Gold. That's where it was at. We were wrestling them. And Jordy gets into it with one of the refs and gets kicked out. They tell me he has to leave. And so then right there, we have guys like warming up for these matches. Like, I think our like 6-pounder went out there, and then we all just left and got up and walked out. We were just like, we just were like, all right, I guess I'm done. I'm done for the day. No more wrestling for me.
Holy crap.
It was like we wanted to wrestle, but
was he saying that wild of stuff to like?
I don't remember
Legends
exactly
of Gold
what
can
happened.
suck my dick. That place is
Dude.
That place is not where it's at.
I don't know exactly what he was saying, and I like glad I don't remember it all, but I don't think it was like anything crazy bad. But there was this like one ref he like didn't get along with, and that's the dude that tried kicking him out. And Jordy's like, all right, we're leaving then. And so we just didn't get to finish the tournament. It's like, Jordy, I kind of want to wrestle like a little bit more, but.
So the
Whatever.
parents were
That's
just
a
like,
hot
all right,
right
let's
there.
just leave then.
Dude, yeah, my dad's like, well, Jordy got kicked out. We got to go. I'm like, all right. fair
That's
enough.
awesome.
So,
It is nuts.
what would you say was like? Do you think you had like a mental change going from middle school to high school? And because like middle school, you weren't able to win like a state title in middle school, and then you go on to win like 4 state titles. Like, what do you think changed in that 1 year?
I kind of think, I guess I'll thank my older brother for this, and like also my dad too, but they always talked about outworking your opponents, like knowing you're outworking them. And my dad like would tell me like what could someone else have done today that would have, outworked you. And so like we were big on holidays and stuff, like still getting a workout in, like say, hey, this is a day when no one else is working out, so like I'm gonna get a workout in. I'm gonna go in with, for us, it was a lot of times we like doing a long run or like hit some hill sprints or something on like Thanksgiving and Christmas, like, and then a lot of days I would like lift, wrestle, and then like do cardio or wrestle again. So I'd like rip like 3 workouts, and I just felt like looking back, like those workouts were like tough, but they aren't as tough as like obviously like a college practice or anything. Yeah. But at the time I thought like just mentally, like I was like, okay, I'm doing this. No one else is doing this. Like, I thought to myself, like, if I want to win state, because like I said, that was, I've been told I've been like the person that's been the most happy to win a state title, but I'm so glad I had that because it just, like, it meant more to me. Like, I'm happy I had that. Like, looking back, like when I was a senior, like winning was really cool, especially because it was my fourth, but like compared to like my freshman year, like that was like everything to me. But anyways, back to like what I was saying and like outworking people is I convinced myself that I was doing more than everyone else. So then I was like, well, if I'm working harder than you, then like why couldn't I win? You know what I mean? And like like I said, just wanting it so bad, it's almost like the fear of failure was motivating me too. Like I didn't think I was gonna be happy if I got second, and like which was crazy to say because I was freshman, I still wasn't like that crazy good at wrestling, like what we would consider like if someone's good or not. But like just that, like I put all the pressure on like my practices, and I felt like I'm doing more than everyone else. Like I'm guaranteed to win almost in a way. Yeah. But
I would say that want will take you so far because it's like when all things are equal, it comes down to basically who wants it more too, for sure. So it's like you definitely probably had those matches at state where it's like it's this guy's good, I'm good, but who wants it more, basically. Yeah. When it comes down, who's going to get that last takedown, basically.
Yep.
So
it's kind of funny you say that. So I had always heard that, like, who wants it more? Like, sometimes those matches aren't decided by who's better, but who wants it more. And I kind of, like, never believed that. But then in my finals match, I was losing and ended up coming back in the third period. And I just, like, told him, I, like, felt like I wanted this more than this guy I was wrestling.
Yeah. And was that your freshman year?
Yep.
Yeah. You should give me a rundown of that match.
Yeah. So that was kind of a wild one. So I was wrestling this kid, Remington Bontrager, and he was coming off like a crazy year. Like he'd pinned some of my buddies, like Blaine Brenner, like I had mentioned. I mean, sorry, Blaine, for like going back to that. And like another good wrestler, Kale Anderson, both D1 guys, and he like pinned him earlier. His only loss was to Nikolai Rivera, who wrestles for the Badgers now this year. That was his only loss, and he's like just pinning these guys. And I had lost at the sectionals too, so I was like not super confident going into the state tournament, but I never thought, like, I was just like, all right, I'm going to win my next match. And I found myself in the state finals. And so I was like, okay. Because, like, after I lost at sectionals, well, let me go back. I lost earlier in the year, kind of felt like, before I had lost, I was like, what if I went my whole high school career without losing? Like, kind of like a big goal, but I remember Roman Bravo Young had, like, just done that. I was like, oh, it's, like, crazy. And, like, I was beating all these guys. Like I said, there's no one near me, so there's not that many good wrestlers near me. So I was beating all these guys. And so I kind of thought I was, like, undefeatable, like I said, about outworking everyone. And so I wasn't, like, super confident at the state tournament after just losing in sectionals. Like, and if you lose at sectionals, for Wisconsin, we did 12-man brackets for D3 and D2. So then if you won your sectionals, you got a bye. If you lost, then you had to wrestle Thursday night. So, like, I'm already going in, felt like with, like, a little bit of a disadvantage. But like I said, just taking one match at a time. And then I get to this dude in the finals who had beat the guy I lost to at sectionals. He beat him 10-0. And so, like, I remember saying this, and I kind of regret even thinking it, but, like, I remember telling my dad and brother, I was like, I feel like I want to win so bad that I'll be so disappointed if I lose, or even if I take second. And, like, I was so pumped to, like, place. But I still, like, again, just wanted so badly to win after watching my brother do it. Like, I thought that was, like, the coolest thing ever. I mean, I thought everyone thought that was the coolest thing ever, was winning state.
Yeah.
But anyways, now the actual match. I go out there, shoot, like, a low single. I get in deep. Dude, like, puts a quarter on me, just, like, flips me to, like, my back. I'm like, oh, my gosh, this is the strongest person I've ever wrestled. I'm like, he had that, like...
So, and this was at 106?
Yeah, it's at 106.
Yeah, he's probably, what, junior, senior?
He was junior, I think, yeah.
You're 106?
Yeah, started
Holy
out.
shit.
Yeah, dude. Just get tossed in my back, like, right away. Like, almost gave up back points. And then I get rode out that whole period. Matt returned. Ref calls me for stalling. I'm, like, trying as hard as I can to get away in this match. The ref, like, calls me stalling. I'm like, dude, like, what do you want me to do? Second period. So I was, like, close to getting away in the first period. Second period, I go down. Got rode out the whole period. ref dings me for stalling again. I'm like, dude, it's the state finals. I'm trying as hard as I can. I promise you I'm not stalling right now.
So you're down 3-0.
So I'm down 3-0.
Going in the third.
And I've been rode out for, I don't know, 3.5 minutes so far.
Yep.
Dude chooses down.
Yep.
What an idiot.
Yeah, yeah, dude. he told-
What are you doing? Just
Choose top.
yeah, dude, right? And I just go for a cross wrist, get his wrist, roll through, get a 2 count, and then we kind of end up in a scramble, and he has like one of my legs, and like I fall off of, like he's standing up, he's got one of my legs, and I kind of fall off of him over here. He jumps on top of me, and I hit a Granby as he gets on top of me, put him on his back, get another 2 count. So now I'm up 4-3, and like a minute left, and then I end up, we like go out of bounds, come back, end up getting his wrist again and roll him one more time through.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if my match was, I think my match might have been the longest because like I said, Nicolar was 106 and Blaine Brenner I'm pretty sure was 106 as well that year, and they both like pinned their guys or something. So my match might have been the last one, but the place like erupted because like I was losing, just getting like my ass beat the whole match. Anyways, I remember just got that roll through tilt again, and then there was like short time left, dropped in on an ankle and just held on and ended up winning.
for dear life, yeah.
Dude, I remember I literally like started crying on the mat. I was like so like emotional. Like I was like, holy crap! Like this is like everything I actually like wanted to do. Like I said, winning state title. Like again, I might have been like thought winning the state title was the coolest thing. I thought it was way cooler than anyone else did. But still, like in that moment, I was just like, wow, like it actually happened.
Yeah.
So I was like in a little bit of shock, a little bit.
It's cool to like set a goal like at the beginning of the year like you did. You want to go be a state champ. You knew you could do it. And then when you achieve it, that feeling like of achieving that goal, it's like you said, it's a great feeling. Like you're so happy, so like ecstatic.
I mean, it's like all the work you put in finally like paid off.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Exactly. It's like I probably wasn't like the most social, especially like my first 2 years of wrestling. I thought I kind of had like be in my own world. Right. And I mean, that probably did a little bit help me like mentally. Like I was thinking like, well, if I'm not hanging out with my friends, I'm getting better night's sleeps or stuff like that. But like that made it even more like worth it. Like I didn't want to be missing out on stuff.
Yeah.
I also remember that year, it was before one of the bigger tournaments we have, the Eau-Claire North tournament. It's a pretty solid tournament, but it was like that Thursday. Remember, I sent my dad a text, and so this is early on in the season, first tournament of the season. Like, we had some duels and stuff, first tournament season. I like, text my dad. This was another thing, too. Like, I also thought you could just, like, everyone always, like, is curious about, like, what work they have to do. So, like, oh, what are you doing? Like, how many times are you practicing? How far are you running, Tanner? Like, what's your weight program? I feel like a lot of people know what they have to do. It's just they don't want to hear that it's hard work.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Everybody wants it to be like this one big answer. I kind of like refer to that with wrestling camps or like clinics. You'll see parents and they're like, oh man, we got a Jason Nolf camp here. It's a $200. If we send him here, he's gonna be great. And it's like
no.
And it's like, I promise you. I mean, it's gonna help a little, but it's continuing to do it over a long period of time that's going to make you good.
Because I bet all those guys are like 4-time NCAA champs, even just regular NCAA champs, they work for that shit. It's not like it's like they didn't do like what everyone tells them to do. They do what they think they need to get done, and it's a lot more than what the average person thinks they should get done, for sure.
They didn't just wake up one day a 4-time national champ.
Yeah, they're like went to one camp. And but so I knew that. I was like, all right, I think you can decide that you want to, like I said, outwork everyone and become a state champ. So like that Thursday before that tournament, I sent my dad a text. I'll always remember this. I said like, I'm gonna win the tournament this weekend, and I'm gonna win state at the end of the year. I just like told him that, and I just thought like you could decide to do that. Like you can decide you want to do something, and like I was so like just set on it, and like looking back, like I was close to losing, but I was so like confident, like I said at that time because I hadn't lost also, and then I ended up winning the tournament, and like I was just like decided what I wanted to happen. Like I don't know. Yeah. So, anyways, just think always remember.
There's a lot behind that.
It's crazy. You almost can like create your own vision. Like you thought about it every day, I'm sure, because like you visualize everything, and I'm sure you thought about that moment every day, and then you just made it happen. And it's cool to like see like a lot of wrestlers can like kind of do that in their journey, and it's just cool to see like get that goal and you envision it every day, and then you go and do it, and it's
Because, like, your brain is such a powerful muscle that you should be training every single day. Because, like, when you visualize it, it's like, okay, it can really happen. Like, it's like
you already lived it once you get there.
Yep.
It's like I've seen this a million times. It's like just another match. Let's go get it.
I feel
I'm
like,
winning this. I know that.
Yeah, dude. Just picturing it. I feel like I've asked, I've worked with some younger wrestlers too, and like I've asked people like, oh, well, do you want to win state? Like you can decide you want to do that.
Yeah.
But like again, back to the thing, it's just you're gonna have to work so much harder than you think.
but it's all like deep down.
Yeah. How bad do you want it?
Yeah.
I had this one quote that I kind of thought of it this year, but I feel like for so many people, like your goals are so much closer than you think, but the work to achieve them is so much more than you think also. Like guys on my team, like I know they're good enough to be national champs, and like they're willing to set that goal, but I want them to fully believe that. I was like, if you want to, like you can do that, like, but you need to realize like you're gonna have to do so much more than you think also. Like I remember I told one of our freshmen this year, because he got so much better over this year. His name's Sadiq, and I was like, dude, you can win nationals next year if you want. And I was like, do you realize that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, well then you should put everything you can to try to do this. Like if you really want to do that, like, and I'm telling you, you have like the potential to do so. Like, don't think that like just saying I want to be a national champ is gonna help you get there like at all. Like I'm all for that. Like people like I said, envisioning things and like writing it down, putting like my buddy Sean Sleeves has sticky notes all over his house, like says 2026 national champ. Like I'm all for that, but just like then go work hard, like go get it, like go get what's yours.
That in itself isn't doing it for you. You're just setting the sight, and then you still gotta go run it down. But I think it's good to have because you know where you want to be.
Yep.
But it's like you still gotta go get there.
Get it.
And it just gives you so much more confidence too if you're working hard. That you're going to achieve that goal. Like I said, like everyone's goal is going to be to win a national title.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But now, say you're a guy that hasn't touched the national tournament yet, and you might think that goal is too far away. Whereas, like for me, I almost went 0-2 at nationals this year, and so I think about how close I was to going 0-2. But then I also, I like to say I know I'm better than everyone that was there. And obviously I didn't work out for me that day, but like I want to say like if you made me and any of those guys wrestle 10 matches, I'm winning the majority of those 10.
Yeah.
And so like I'm telling those guys like you might not think that goal is tangible, but like look at me, I almost wasn't even close, but I also know like I could have won. Like that's how some guys are. Like that back to what I was just saying, like your goal is within your reach. Like you just got to believe it. You know what I mean? Like believe it and then actually work towards it. But
sure.
I don't kind of went off on a tangent there, but
yeah, I wanted to go back a little bit to you talking about the hard work. Like I just remember us kind of having like hard conversations almost of like somebody just beat me, so the only way to justify it in my head is that he outworked me, and it's a really hard concept to ever accept that somebody can beat me and they didn't work as hard as me. That like is just and I remember you saying something about it, and it's like, well, he has to be working harder than me. There's no other way than that.
Yep.
But
I mean, kind of sucks because I feel like sometimes it isn't always the case. Like,
Yeah.
you got crazy talented guys. But I mean, for me, like I probably said this, like to be mentally good with it, like I'm thinking this guy worked harder than me.
yeah,
And that kind of reminds me, like, so our team was the number 1 seed going into the tournament this year for the team trophy. And, Augsburg and Wartburg have won it like the past, like one of those 2 schools had won it like the past like 10 years or 11 years or something. Yeah. And so this is like, we're going in and trying to win. And our team, we had some bad things happen and ended up taking 5th as a team. And like one thing I was thinking, like our coaches kind of talked to us. I mean, they didn't want to bother us too much because they knew we were affected, but they're like, well, what do you think we could do better for like next year and stuff? And like one of the things that I have like in the back of my head is like, yes, we could have like prepared better. Maybe we could have kept our training like a little bit harder because maybe we tapered a little bit towards the end. Maybe like your body's feeling good, but are you mentally sharp? Do we put too much pressure on people? But like, what if we were just better at wrestling? You know what I mean? You send a D1 All-American into a D3 bracket, it doesn't matter his mental game. He's better at wrestling. And so, like, what if I'm just better at wrestling? Like, I'm not going to focus on much as my mental game. Like, what if I just got better? So,
true. I completely agree with that. I might have said this in an earlier podcast, I think I did, but just like I met with our coaches at the end of the year, and it's basically like, hit me square in the face. You need to stop focusing so much on like lifting, running, body, whatever, and like that stuff still needs to be there.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But you need to wrestle. Like that's the only way you're really gonna get better at wrestling is by wrestling. I mean, that other stuff is minute percentages compared to if you have like a major deficiency. Like, hey, this is a problem on the wrestling mat. And most likely, if you're losing, I mean, outside of like maybe you lost one nail biter, but if you lose a few matches, there's probably like one telltale thing beneath those losses. You know?
And like feeding off of that too is like what I've seen in like the high school room a lot too, especially is that instead of like I practice focus on getting better, a lot of people are focusing on how much weight can I lose. You know what I mean? So it's like another big thing too is like when you are in the room, focus on getting better at wrestling. I feel like it's a big thing.
I feel like that's like huge, and some people like just don't get it enough. Like just think of cutting weight too much. Like also, like for me this year, I started the year at 57, then went up to 65, and had noticed like no difference. I was like, if you're big enough for the weight, a lot of times like you'll be good. I mean, I will say like I wrestled with like you guys. And, like, I was back in, like, my sophomore year, like, I could tell the difference between, like, one weight class, maybe a little bit better on some D1 guys. But at the end of the day, like, what if someone's just better at wrestling? Like, people want to use that excuse, like, oh, they're bigger than me in practice. It's like
no, just get better.
Yeah. Like, what if I was, like, just better at wrestling?
Exactly.
I've had a lot of coaches that are smaller than me kick my ass in practice.
For sure.
Or even, like, ride me out. Like, I can't stand up. There's a 150-pound dude on my back, and I can't stand up.
That's Scott.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Coach Mattingly, and then our head assistant coach, Zach Cook. Dude, I swear he's just, like, trying to get on top of me because, then he's good there. And I'm like, dude, come on. He just waits till I get tired, and then he gets on top of me, and I'm like, all right. All right. So this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So we'll always start drilling first, and then we'll go into like spar and then to live. And once I want it to be live, I just mat return him once. Like, all right, okay, I'm gonna start on top now for a little bit. Try to get as much time on top as I can. Well, in my head, I'm going live, so that it's like, all right, I'm winning this one right here, kind of.
Yeah. I forgot. I was gonna say something.
So, like your whole decision to like transfer and stuff, because you transferred this past year. Yep. So, like, what went into that decision? Like, you obviously, it was obviously probably a tough decision to make.
Yeah.
And like, who'd you lean on for that? And like, what ultimately like made you decide that this was right for you in your journey?
Yeah. So transferred last year, and it was extremely hard. You know, it just I put a lot of thought into it, like, because I mean, I had like great years here, like, and I didn't wrestle much. I was hurt both years. I had a season. I was out the whole freshman season, surgery on my elbow. Second year, I had 7 matches, and then tore my meniscus, and it was taking me out until like late February or something. And so, and even that though, like the guys here and like the practices and the coaches, like I love the coaches. I know some people like might have transferred because they didn't like love the coaches, but I will say like I felt like a great relationship with all the coaches. Even like my freshman year, I had like a great relationship with all the coaches. But so I only had 7 matches, and like total in my college career now. And so going into that next year, it was like we had guys transfer out, like Landon transferred out, and I wanted to wrestle 57. So like there was like potentially a spot there, or like Howes wanted to wrestle 65, I'm pretty sure. So, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like it was possible. But, I mean, after scrapping with, like, you know, Bowden and, like, Gabe Shum and, like, getting my ass kicked sometimes, I was like, dude, like I fully believed I needed to get better. Okay, for one, and I fully believed I could have got, like, a starting spot. But then I realized if I didn't do that, all my friends were leaving, and I wasn't getting, like, a ton of matches. like compared, like, so I said I got 7 matches. I think Trey got like 12 or something that year. And he was not hurt.
Right.
Maybe once. He was out once or something. And so I'm like, dude, like, you know, I love wrestling, and like I said, I love wrestling so much. And, you know, being a starter here, a D1 All-American, like, that's like a lifetime dream. Like, if all the wrestling went great, I would love it here. But I was like, say I get hurt again. So, and like, big thing with me is like, when I was hurt, I knew that like the guys in the room were getting better. Yeah. Like, like Max Peterson, I remember like I can get hurt, and I just would see him at practice. I'm like he's getting better, and he beat me in the wrestle off the beginning of the sophomore year, and then I get hurt, and like he's still just getting better than me, and so like it was kind of hard. Like, what if I get hurt? What if I'm not the starter? Then I was like, well, then it's gonna suck, because my whole freshman class pretty much had left, and that was probably like my favorite thing outside of wrestling was those guys here. Yeah. And so I realized everything I put it on was my only happiness from like being here was mostly like I still like a lot of the guys. Like Drexler's like one of my closest friends. Like Bowden, I like loved hanging out with you. But it felt like to me, like Drexler was moving out, and it felt like to me if I didn't if I didn't have the wrestling, if I didn't win, then I wasn't gonna be happy. And I just decided like I can't have wrestling be the only thing that's gonna make me happy here, because that's not guaranteed. Right. And that's another thing I realized this year. Like at the beginning of the year, I set the goal to be a national champ, and then I got hurt this year again. Got the meniscus taken out, made it back, and my goal is always just like to wrestle and have fun. Like everyone always says, like wrestle and have fun, but my goal is literally just have fun, compete hard, win my next match, because I didn't want to be upset because I didn't reach that goal. You know what I mean? And like with getting hurt so many times, I even told Bowden, like when I was a sophomore, I was like, if I get surgery one more time, I think I'm done wrestling. And then I had to get surgery.
He gets hurt. I'm like, dude.
I think I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I just have to say, like, you inspire me so much. I mean, just like your mentality and the way that you go about having fun with wrestling and how you can, like, just your journey with all of that stuff. I mean, it is unbelievable, and it is something that, like, I even wonder in myself, because I tell myself all the time, I love wrestling so much, and I just wonder if I could do what you did. So I just have to say that's very impressive to me.
Yeah, thanks. Yep. But yeah, I couldn't have like only wrestling results be the, you know, everyone always says like love the journey, enjoy, like, and love the process. Like I had to like make that, like I love going to practice, but like I said, those results weren't guaranteed. So for sure, kind of why I put it like that.
Yeah. You should give a breakdown of the national tournament, just like how each match kind of went and what was going through your head throughout that.
I might forget some. I wrestled 7 matches, I think. It was most of the tournament, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I'm the 2 seed. The weekend before, I had beat the number 2 ranked guy at our regional tournament. And so I was the 2 seed then going in. I never wrestled the first guy. The guy was ranked number 1, but I mean, I didn't think much of it really. I didn't care. And like I said, I'm going out there to win my next match. First match, you know, taking the guy, taking him down, turning him. Maybe, I can't remember, I might have cut him, took him down again, got away on bottom, rode him on top. And then, you know, I was getting tired, but this has happened to me more times than I'd like to say. Sometimes I get tired and I don't even know if I'm like physically tired, because I know I'm in good shape. Like a lot of our guys on our team like are in good shape and we score a lot of points. But I start getting like afraid that I'm gonna lose with a big lead. Like I'll get up by like a different match in the tournament. I was up by like 7 or something. And then I was afraid I was gonna lose. So I was on my heels, got taken down. I was like, oh my gosh, this guy's just gonna take me down and cut me. He took me down, cut me, took me down again. Ended up winning by like 2 or something, because I didn't get taken down a third time, luckily. But I get these big leads, and for some reason I think that, like, what if he just takes me down, cuts me, takes me down, cuts me? But anyways, back. So my first match, I think it's 12-5. I think he got 1 takedown in there somewhere. And third period, we get kind of in a crazy, like, scramble. And I mean, I was legs getting a scramble. And then I get into, like, my backhand position where I call it a Gerber Granby. Just because
Gerber Granby.
Yeah.
It's legendary.
I ripped it. It's like just a Peterson, but I ripped it so many times. I ripped it like every match in state high school or something.
It's got a good feel for it somehow.
Yeah, like I hit it from top, bottom, like on her feet, like all over the place. Anyways, in kind of one of those positions, and the dude locks up a cradle over top of me, and I can feel it. And usually, like this, so this guy has to bring me all the way over top of him, and like the guys really can't do that. But I don't know what it was, but I'm in my position. I'm getting like my danger count on him, and he is able to bring me all the way over top of him, and I'm stuck in a cradle and end up getting pinned. I mean, I hear like the Augsburg fans go crazy because they like they're really big on like cheering against like their competitors. I mean, like not to be like a dick or anything, but like they are.
Yeah.
Like I remember at the regional tournament, they're like, I like tilt the guy, I get 2 points. They're booing the ref for like. I'm like, God, come on! Like our 33 pounder who's Wyatt Migalski is like 18, 17 years old, and he's wrestling a kid from Eau-Claire, and there's like a questionable takedown that Wyatt gets, and the Augsburg fans are like booing it. I'm like, dude, that's not even your guy out there. And like, this is a 133-pound-year-old 17-year-old. Like, he doesn't. What do you think? Booing him? Like, he's like, I would be like scared if I was him.
Yeah.
Anyways, so there was that. I mean, that just sucked because I was like, all right, I think I'm the best, and I just could have won that match. No, I lost, and I'm just like, all right, well, I guess I just gotta go win my next match.
Yeah. And you came in as the number 2 seed, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then one of our coaches, I remember, said like, he's like, all right, I think it was Mason Kaufman. He wrestled NIU, and now he's an assistant coach for us. And he's one of my favorite coaches. And he told me, all right, take 5 minutes and be really upset about that. And he said, after that, then we're good. We'll just go next match, next best thing. And so I took my time, was upset about it. And then I think I had another 1 or 2 matches that day. And then it was the next day was all the rest. And you know, I get over it, and I go out there for my second match, and I'm wrestling a kid, and he lost to the 1 seed in overtime. So he was All-American in years past, and I like get my hands pretty much locked around his legs, and he's sitting on his butt, and I don't get any call, like, because they wanted me to be up around his waist, but I mean, it's supposed to be 3. No call, and I'm super close to getting a takedown, but we end up getting a crazy scramble, and he like takes me out with like 5 seconds left, so I get taken down and rolled out for the period. So now I'm down 3-0. And then second period, I think he goes down. I ride him out like most of the period. And then he reverses me with like 10 seconds left or something again. So maybe he reverses me. And then, I think so. Reverses me, I get rolled out. So now I'm down 5-0. And I got riding time. Third period, I go down, get away pretty quick. And I'm just, like, chasing him all over the mat. Like, he's getting dinged for stalling. I just, like, I'm getting in on his legs. And he's, like, jumping and just finding my ankle and just holding on. And then, like, I was so confident I was going to get a takedown, but I just, like, couldn't let it happen. Like, couldn't get it to happen. And then I remember, like, right before, there's, like, 30 seconds left, getting in on his legs again. He finds my ankles. And we're, like, close to out of bounds. And I'm like, I'm not going to finish this right here. So I'm trying to get us out of bounds. He's trying to, like, pull me in, though, because he's just holding onto my ankle. You gotta be kidding me. Like, I can't, like, go out like this. And then I remember in my first match, my coach was like, can you promise me you're going to get away because there's a short time or something? I was like, all right, I promise you I'll get away this. And then I didn't get away. And I'm like, all right, sorry about that, coach.
My bad.
And kind of like that whole, like, set in your mind, too. I was like, all right, I'm getting away here. It didn't. But anyways, so there's 10 seconds left. And I'm down 5-1. I got riding time. And I just fire off a shot, limp arm out, end up getting my 3, and then add riding time, had 5.
Damn.
5-5, send it to overtime. And then it was just like blood in the water. The kid was like, he thought he won for a second because he didn't realize he had riding time. So like in the match, you can see him like celebrate.
Bro, yeah.
And then overtime, or going to overtime, getting some crazy scrambles. I ended up taking him down pretty quick again. But yeah, so anyways, those were like the 2 craziest matches.
Wow.
Had another match, then after that, so I wasn't wrestling my best either. Like, after losing, like, I don't want to say it affected me because, like, I hate to think, like, stuff like that can affect me. Like I said, I just put it all onto, like, my wrestling and practice. But, like, I was losing to kids I was better than. And then the next match, I think it was another close one. Might have won, like, 6-7. And, dude, like, I was just like, the dude, like, dove at my ankles at one point. Like, I just, like, fall on my butt. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. Like, I can't let this take down, like, score on me. I was getting riding time in all my matches. And then my next match is the one I was just taking the guy down. I just decided to like just fire off my shots. Like I was like, all right, I practiced this a lot. I'm just gonna shoot it, like even if it's not there. And I was getting a lot of them. This is the match I was up by like 7, and then dude takes me down and cuts me, takes me down, cuts me, and then I'm like on my heels again, and then end up winning by like another 2 points.
It's crazy how hard it is, like, when you get ahead, like, a big lead like that. When you, like, start, you're like, oh, let's try not to lose. Like, how much they can come back because you're just trying not to do anything. Yeah. Just trying to, like, hold on for something. Instead of, like, going for your offense and maybe you're going to get a score. It's like your mentality switch like that can screw you so bad.
It can.
I think I'm usually pretty good at that, like, in practice. Like, say I get a takedown, I'm not holding on to a lead in practice because it's like I'm trying to get better. Like, right. You know, even though sometimes, like, say we're doing, like, a 2-minute go and I get a takedown on a guy, it's like, well, if I, you know, finish this go out without getting taken down, like, I won the go. But, like, who really does that good? Like, because I'm trying to be aggressive. You know, I'm trying to be, like, more dominant wrestler. That's just, like, kind of how our coaches ingrained that into us. Like, we score a ton of points. Like, that's like, tells us, like, that's what lacrosse wrestling does. So we score a lot of points. I mean, it's true. And so all our guys wrestle like that. But then in the matches, for some reason, like, get a lead by, like, 8 or something, I think I'm going to lose. I had a bad duel earlier in the year where just doing, like, whatever I want to this kid. Like, took him down once, like, kicked his leg out, tripped him over the other one, and then he, like, took me down once in, like, a scramble. And I was like, oh, my gosh, like, what if I lose? And so then I went, like, down in the third period and let him ride me out the whole period because I was like, if I finish on bottom, then I win. And, like, just too many times I'm like, afraid to lose, and I wrestle worse than when I'm trying to win. Yep. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. That's not, like, the story of my year so far. Like, if you guys have, I feel like so many people have, like, felt that. But
yeah. I think that was, like, my biggest change, like, my senior year was, like, always in, like, the big matches, I'd, like, kind of, like, choke up because I was just, I didn't want to go out there and lose. And then, like, I talked to, like, my coaches, my club coaches and stuff, and he was just like, he said the best time he wrestled was when he didn't care how, like, what happened. He said when I was free out there, it was just my best wrestling. And that was really when he said the switch in his career was. And, like, when he could do that, I tried to implement that, and it really worked my senior year. And I won out and won. And it was just the big change in the mindset, just that, yeah, who cares what happens? It's just another match. Just tomorrow the sun comes up. Who cares? True. And I feel like implementing that helps so much, like, when you go out there and wrestle.
I think, too, like for me, like I said, I get scared if the guy could take me down. Because, like, well, if he take me down once, but if he, like, cuts me. Or, like, if I'm in a close match that's, like, really big, like, I'm winning by, like, 1 point or it's tied. Like, I'm like, oh, my gosh, this match is tied. Like, I may lose.
Right.
But then another thing that Coach Malachek, our head coach, has told me is just, like, he talks to us every day before practice, but this one really resonated with me. He's just like, think about all that could go right. And so I just kind of mentally told myself, like, no, this is, like, in these, like, 50-50 situations where it's tied or I'm up by 1 point, have to ride this guy out, like, I'm the better guy there. Like, I want to, like, I'm thinking, like, this guy doesn't want to be here. Yeah. That's kind of what happened at Nationals a lot. I don't know if it's true. I mean, somewhat, like, I felt like as I wrestled guys on the backside, like, they're ready to be done with their season. And, like, it's partially true probably with some of the guys, but for the most part, a lot of guys are fighting, you know, tooth and nail to be an All-American. But I just told myself, like, because I, you know, if I lost again, I was out of the tournament. Before that match that I won by, like I said, when I was up by 7 or something, I got taken out twice. That was the match to go out to All-American. But, like, being nervous about that, but then I was just thinking, like, well, what if I just won all the way out to third? Like, then I'd be pretty happy. I remember telling my coach telling me that, like, he's like, all right, third place. And I was like, all right, I believe it. Do you? And he's like, I believe it. And, like, that was just big. I just needed to hear it from him, like, that he believed it, because I believed myself. Like, I was better than everyone else, and I could go take third. And then, so it's just about going out there and actually doing it. But
that's sweet.
Yeah,
definitely helps to have a coach like that in your corner. Just just remind you, kind of keep bringing you back up. And because sometimes we always doubt as much as we don't want to, and as much as we try not to. There's always that little doubt that we're always thinking. And when you just hear, like, something like that, it kind of just, that all goes away. And it really helps to have a good coach like that.
Yeah. When there's, you need somebody to believe in you, especially, like, at this level. Like, you need somebody who really thinks you can get it done. I mean, even if, I guess even if deep down they maybe are like, I don't know, but at least if they can show you that they think that you can, you know, I just think that goes such a long way to be able to do.
We had one of our assistant coaches just every time for the match, he just was like, none of these guys are close to you. And like, I think he genuinely believed it. You know, maybe if I didn't believe what he was telling me, like he's like, you're so much better than all these guys. And I was like, all right, sweet. So, but I think I had 2 more matches after my All-American one, or maybe it was 3, I can't remember. And there was like just some scraps. Like I think I won 5-0 against kid from Baldwin Wallace. I wrestled everyone except for the guys that were in the finals. Like I wrestled the top because they just see the top 8. So I was the 2 seed. The 1 and 3 were in the finals, and I wrestled the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a row on the back.
No way.
Yeah, dude, it was like when I say like I went
Had to
through
go.
like hell,
Yeah.
bro. It was like terrible. Like I was, and then even like the matches where I felt like I was a lot better than the guy, it's still I just would make him close somehow.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like even if this shouldn't like be terrible, like this is the worst thing ever. Like right now, and I just remember like I'm like wrestling the All-American match, and at the time I like wanted to get 3rd. I'm like, it's like 4 more matches or something. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, or like it was unreal.
So you know the first guy you lost to, how did he end up doing?
He I think just lost his like next 2 or something.
Oh my god.
I think he won his next one and then lost the next 2. I've joked with people. Tell people that guy was only in the tournament just to make sure I didn't win. But
That's what he was.
I was like, all right, whatever. Like I kind of knew that he probably wasn't gonna place, and so after last, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But
It's always a tough one.
couple scraps.
It is funny.
What are some things that interest you outside of wrestling?
I'm big on like I love to cook. And I think that goes like hand in hand too, like just cutting away if you can make your own food that's good. And then I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere, not completely, but there's a lot of woods near us, so I'm big into hunting and fishing.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, like just whatever, like karaoke I'll rip, going out on the boat,
yeah.
stuff like that.
I want to get into hunting.
Yeah.
But like I'm into fishing quite a bit, but I'm only went hunting once.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. We do a lot of like whitetail hunting, like deer in the fall during the season. So that's pretty fun. I mean, that's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
I play a lot of video games, especially during wrestling season.
Yeah.
Just grinding.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of cold to be out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude.
What's the craziest thing you've ever made cooking wise?
It's kind of
Beef
tough.
Wellington.
No beef Wellington.
This guy can cook.
I made some like orange chicken from scratch.
Oh, shit.
That was like pretty good. Orange chicken and fried rice. So like,
Cody,
Hell
it's right up
yeah.
your alley,
Yeah.
dog.
Oh,
I
fried
mean,
rice.
That's all this dude ever talks about is fried rice.
Steak and rice, this
Yeah.
guy.
Really?
Over steak and potatoes.
potatoes.
Yeah,
Steak and
yeah.
rice.
That's
Way
no
more tasty
shot.
than
That's an
potatoes.
American right there.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an Asian American, so
Okay.
Asian comes first before. Yeah. Well. Yeah, I like my rice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it's better to make like fried rice with like leftover rice. So like I make the rice like the day before, and like the sauce, it's better if you let sit for a while with everything. So like I make the sauce with like the orange peel and like all that. I can't remember. It was like orange peel, soy sauce,
Do you do that?
sugar.
Nah, I just rip it like an old-fashioned Asian.
Yeah.
So what my mom always told me is just grab whatever's in your fridge, get some rice, and
Throw it together. That's gonna be good. Can't go wrong with
It
it.
usually turns out pretty good, I will
That's
say.
right.
It works somehow.
I made some like beef ribs. They're pretty good. That takes a couple hours. I've just done it in the oven. I want to get a smoker.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
I got
actually-
one.
We just made some ribs too, like
Oh,
literally
really?
like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
They're
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I got a Louisiana smoker.
Uh-huh.
Got it for like $200 on Marketplace.
Oh, really?
Dude, it's sweet.
I gotta be.
Dude, just look on Marketplace. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
looking for like
Marketplace.
probably
You
like
guys are big on the marketplace
Oh,
finds.
yeah.
Big time.
it was like 2 weeks. I probably hunted or probably a month honestly, and then I finally saw it. I was like, yeah, we're getting
And
it.
it was like Detroit Lakes, like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
45.
45 hour.
Yeah, I mean we're out there fishing and it kind of all worked out.
Yeah, we just swung on by and got it. Threw her in the boat, strapped her down. Thank God for Waz.
Dude, that was a crazy day, though. It was freaking cold out.
Yeah, it was like 35 out. We go out fishing. The wind's just ripping, dude. I mean, it was ripping.
The thing that killed me is on that boat ride out to the spot is that the rain, like the water got on us. I was fishing probably 5 minutes, and after that, I was just like...
He was
Dude, that's
bundled
one
up in
thing
the
I don't
corner.
miss about here is the wind and the snow, bro. It was,
Oh, my. When we're coming back in, so we were way out, probably like 10 minutes out. We're coming back in. It's so windy out. The waves are just huge, and we're flying, and water's just freaking pouring in off the sides, and we're just getting soaking wet. And we had to like go slow the rest of the way because it was so bad. And then by the time we got back, we were just soaking wet.
Dude, that's just the worst kind of brutal cold.
Yeah.
Chills you to the bones. You cannot warm up.
Yeah,
It's
because
like it
everything
just-
you have on's freezing cold
Yeah.
because it has the water, and then the wind's
Yes.
blowing, and it's already cold out.
and you're just so miserable. You just have to sit in that boat. Just get to the end.
we hit a wave, and then when we got back, his freaking console was like wiggling.
Yeah, the
I'm
whole
like,
driving console was loose on it.
Yeah.
It was choppy out there. It was rough.
Right.
dude, that's how I felt walking to the shack, like for some of those
Yeah.
6:30 lifts. Put the hood on, look down, and walk backwards to the shack. Dude, there was like one day, like, we got so much snow, like a blizzard, and it was Coach Kish at the time. He just like sent a message into the group chat, like practice at 3:30. Like, you're like, all right, so practice is still on, and like the freshmen were some like the only guys that could make it because we were right there. Like
Right.
some guys were like, I can't get out. And it was like, okay, we'll just rip it on over to practice, but.
Yeah, I feel like your freshman year it snowed a lot.
Dude, it did. It was so much worse than it was like my sophomore year. And then I don't know, like the winter for me and lacrosse wasn't that bad this year, but
Some of those walks in the morning suck. You like just bundle up and you're like, oh, just speed walking on the way, or like turn it
the
around.
walking backwards.
You got your
strap.
parka, you're like strapped up walking backwards, just wind's ripping on you.
was like,
You're like, holy shit.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So is it cool? So where's the school at you go now? Wisconsin?
yeah, it's in Wisconsin. It's right next to Winona, Minnesota. It's like 2.5 hours south of where I used to live. It's UW Lacrosse, right on Mississippi River. Nice bluffs and stuff. But
Sweet.
it's kind of isolated in itself. It's about an hour from Rochester. But yeah, no, I mean, I like it there a lot.
How long is that drive to Fargo?
It was, I think it was like 6 hours to Fargo. So we went to Bismarck yesterday.
Oh, shit.
So I think to Bismarck it was 9 hours from Lacrosse, but I stopped on the way and then whatever. So that's 3 hours. So yeah, like about 6 hours.
Yeah.
To here.
Yeah, you gotta get that some of them social media ideas started up.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
I
gotta
know,
hear
bro. We were
this.
literally just talking about. I remember, like at UFC, we were talking about like just actually doing it. I was so set on it. Like I wanted to start like my little cooking page.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, it also hurt. Like, 'cause,
Like kind of
once-
what Volk does.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know if you ever seen
yeah,
that. Like Eats
yeah.
with Volk, like around the campfire, he usually does it.
Yep.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, get
Or,
like,
like,
special guests.
You know who
on.
Jack Mancuso is? You ever
I
see?
don't.
Oh, well, he's like a big dude. He does a lot of cooking. He like smoker a lot, and he's pretty famous for that. He'll like go to like the Bills practices and stuff and
Oh,
cook
really?
for those guys a lot. Yeah,
Dude, that's badass.
yeah. He'll like him and Josh Allen will like hang out and cook together.
That's cool.
It's pretty sweet. And then he'll have like big NFL stars on and stuff. Like he's had Marab, who I hope
yeah.
fucking loses. Fuck Marab. Sugar Sean is winning this
yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
He's
Sugar
getting that
baby.
belt
Yeah.
back. We're
Is
bringing
that
it back.
tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
night. It's coming back.
Give me sugar, baby.
We can,
Dude, I gotta read you guys off some of the other ideas I had though. Like just some
the
random
one, the
things.
one was crazy. He like goes down and offers advice to homeless people or something, wasn't it?
Could go down to downtown Lacrosse, set up like a little booth that's like free advice or something. People like come up, a lot of homeless people maybe, and they come up ask for some advice and just give them like terrible advice. Like,
That'd be
It's
hilarious.
the exact opposite of what you should do.
like just wearing a trench coat places, like and stacking two people on top of each other. You know what I mean? Like go try and get into the bar and just have someone like obviously in a trench coat. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? I think that
Cody, we can get you doing that.
Yeah.
Put you on top of one of us.
Dude, another one like print out fake parking tickets and just start handing them out. Like, someone parks like, nah, dude, like, you're not setting up there.
or do you see those like stickers you can leave like shitty parking job? And
Oh
stuff?
yeah.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen those.
This might be my favorite. Like actually kidnapping one of my friends.
Oh
Like
shit.
just like taking them out of their dorm, and just bringing them someplace and dropping them off. like actually just. No, one of my buddies said we should do it where we have like ski masks on. I'm like, I can't have them like trying to kill me, like fearing for their life.
A different level of adrenaline. You might catch some friggin' some haze.
Whereas like if you like walk in just with like some dudes hanging out, and you just tie up one of your friends and drop them off like 20 minutes from now.
That'd be funny.
No idea where they're at. Yeah, dude.
That'd be a good one. If you could just like strap a GoPro on and do that, that'd be sick.
Dude, I think I'm giving out all my ideas now.
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I think this is gonna be quick, but like you're at like a place where you have to leave a tip, and you ask like the server like name a number 1 through 100. They say like 100 because they like probably have like heard about this before. You should be like lower. Like keep telling them to go lower, so they get to like a 10% tip, and they're like, all right. Good looks. Like that'll be it.
That's the number. You picked it. Yep.
12%. Yeah.
No, servers wasn't that good. 50, that's a little bit high.
Speaking of that, I saw like this one video on Instagram. It was like it was a dude holding 10 $100 bills to a homeless person. He's like, pick a number 1 through 10. He's like, really? And then he's like, 10. And then he's like, 10 seconds of getting tased. And then
That's a good one.
Holy crap.
Oh, dude, I've seen like that with like, all right, I'm gonna flex on you 10 times. Like do like 10 money spreads for like 1, and then like spreading the money. I kind of put this into action. Last night we mic'd up my friend Sean Solis at the bars, and just had her mic'd up for the night. Like I just think just one of the boys mic'd up at the bars or at a party, like just see what like they're going like. If you know him, like that's a good guy to get like mic'd up.
That's a great guy to get mic'd up. Oh my god, I'd love to hear that. All right, I got to end with 2 questions here. First one, who is the most impressive person you've ever met in your life?
Oh, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I think I am gonna say my brother, but he hated wrestling practice, like hated it, like just genuine, only liked competing. He cut weight wrong. He would be cutting out his water weight like Monday night, and like for like a Saturday tournament, he'd be like, all right, after practice, I'll have 1 pound of water. So he's just like cutting weight so badly, and like I'm lucky to go after him, but like I said, he just liked winning. Like he was, he made it to state in cross country. Like he doesn't necessarily like running. He just knew it was hard and like wanted to do it, and so he did it. And the fact that like for me, I enjoy like going to practice. Like I said, like wrestling, I had so much fun with it. Yeah. And so like, you know, I'm super disciplined with like wrestling stuff because it's wrestling. I love doing this. But like little things like cleaning my house, I'm not the most disciplined because I don't care about it that much. Or like it's so much easier for me to be disciplined about like wrestling stuff because I like it. So for him to like do all this stuff while hating practice, like I just can't believe it. Like if I hated going to practice every day and only liked competing, like there's no way I would wrestle in college.
Yeah.
And he wrestled 3 years in college, and like just like I said, like and like running and stuff, like just did stuff he didn't want to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe he didn't have like the most crazy accomplishments, but I'll never not be impressed by that. And like I guess it is easy for me to say because it is my brother, but like
Oh, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah, that's just a true competitor right there. Yeah, absolutely. Last question I gotta ask you: if you could go back in your life, now this is a thinker here. If you could go back in your life and change one decision that you've made up to this point, what would you change?
Jeez.
Another option is nothing at all.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I try not to live with any regrets because I feel like at the time, you know, you can never blame yourself for a decision you made for at that time. Like, you know, like I didn't say, like I regret, you know, going out or something. Like one night when I could have like been at, like getting a good night's sleep, or like say I regret not going out one night. Like at the time, like I thought that was the best decision. So it's hard to pick.
Right.
If I had to pick one thing. Oh, I mean, this might be kind of a cop-out answer, but after my senior year, I had my elbow was broken, and I saw a doctor, and I kind of just waited around. They told me it might get better, and I kind of just waited around, and then I waited around, got here for school, and then they told me I pretty much for sure needed surgery. And so then I had wasted my whole summer not wrestling pretty much, and I just wish I would have gotten surgery right away and been able to wrestle that freshman year.
Yeah. So how long was that recovery, from surgery?
What specifically was wrong?
So there's the growth plate in my elbow, a little one. I can't remember exactly, but it stopped growing and it wasn't closed. So I don't know exactly why it that's bad. It just was with a growth plate that wasn't I can't straighten this arm out. That's as straight as it goes. And that's how it was. And just whenever I get swelling in there, it would just hurt so bad. I couldn't post on my arm. And so pretty much they had to, it was floating around in there. They had to just put a screw and attach it to my bone where it would have grown onto. And my right elbow was actually kind of similar, but it closed more of the way. So it's been good. But yeah, it was just kind of bone floating around in there.
Yeah.
From what I understood. It was weird though.
And the first doctor was oh, yeah, we should.
We'll check in a couple months. I'm I don't, I want to obviously wrestling still a big thing for me. I'm going into my freshman year at NDSU, and I'm dude, I want to be able to practice right now. I'm not good enough, but to just be sitting around.
Yeah.
I mean, that was another thing with all my injuries is I was I'm not good enough to be a guy that's getting hurt and missing all this stuff. You know what I mean? So it's but I mean, I don't regret my time at NDSU at all. I feel one thing my coach said to me that kind of stuck to me is if you have the opportunity to wrestle at the highest level and the opportunity to achieve, winning, being an All-American, you obviously don't have the opportunity at. I can't be a D1 All-American at lacrosse, obviously. Is what I'm getting at. Because obviously that's what you want to do is you have the opportunity, and so many people would kill to just have the opportunity. It's you got to take it, and so.
Yep.
Did.
I agree with that. Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah, I feel that's one of the biggest things in life is live it to the fullest and don't live with those regrets. You could have chose to not do that. And not many kids get that chance. Really not many high school wrestlers go D1, let alone D2 or D3 or even JUCO. I think the percent's less than 10.
I think it's
probably less.
Google says 1%.
Yeah, that's insane.
Going to college athletics.
And to even say that you did that and achieve that is just a crazy thing of itself. And you committed to it and you're yeah, why not? Let's go for it. And it's cool to see you do that, and it's a cool thing to even achieve.
Yeah.
Say that you did it in your lifetime.
And it's nice to know that you tried as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Basically, I've always said, because I got plenty of comments of you should just go D2, whatnot. And it's well, okay, here's what could happen. I could go D2 and smash everybody, and then I'd just never know if I would have been good enough to get it done at the highest level. And just to know that, for the rest of my life, I just could not live with that. So,
I feel like a lot of people's regrets, the biggest regrets you have aren't say you lost a wrestling match, losing that match, making a dumb decision isn't going to be your biggest regret, but if you didn't take a shot or something, if you got taken down, you're that sucks. But if you're in that match and you didn't try to shoot in overtime or something, that, I feel that's more of a regret. I wish the unknown is so much worse.
I
what if I would
completely agree.
What if I would have taken
shots,
that shot?
the shots you didn't take.
And it's even just in life, it's the regret of not doing something cool in life, or missing an opportunity is that could be your biggest regret in life, is not doing it. It's not. It's never. I've never heard someone say that their biggest regret. I take that back. I don't hear a lot. I don't hear a lot of people say that their biggest regret is something that they did.
I agree.
A lot of it's something I wish I did.
Yeah.
It's all about that wish.
Yeah, you always hear them talking about, I wish I did it. Go do it. I wish I did it. So you go experience that.
Yeah.
That's why I will never, ever regret spending X amount of dollars on a trip. Because I've never gone on a trip and been man, I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
It's you are always even if everything went disastrous, it still is was with the boys.
Yeah.
It's all about the
And
experience.
at that time, you thought it was the best decision.
For sure.
If I had one other one, it's not like any one decision, but like I will say like my freshman, sophomore year, I didn't like hang out with my friends as much, or like I thought I had to be like socially isolated a little bit to be good at wrestling.
Right.
You know, as dumb as it sounds or something, but I don't know.
I'd say the same thing about my freshman, sophomore year. I was definitely a lot more isolated. And then my junior and senior year, I started hanging out with people, friends, meeting new people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely helps to get out and do that too, because like when you're isolated, all you think about is wrestling, and then when you're out with friends, you're having fun, you're relaxed, having a good time.
Yeah.
It's always fun, and that being just relieved like that can help in your wrestling performance too. And when you're not thinking about it all the freaking time, because it can drive you crazy. Just always thinking about
There's
it.
really nothing worse that you can do than just lock yourself in a room.
Yeah,
Just like with nothing
fine.
to do.
You're just up here,
Yep.
just going.
It's like solitary confinement. That's a punishment for a reason, you know.
Makes someone go insane.
Yep. True. But yeah, no, I appreciate you coming on, Gerber.
Yes,
It's
sir.
been
Thanks for
awesome,
having
man.
me. Dude, I feel like I ramble on. I just like lose my thoughts sometimes I'm talking. I just like keep talking and like I don't even know where I'm going. But I just saw myself multiple times. I was like, I don't think anyone said another word. Like anyone else has said something for a minute. Like maybe I should like wrap this up.
No, that's good. Nothing better. But yeah, thank you, Gerber. Appreciate it.
Thanks.